Hello and welcome to this week's book in 5 minutes. My name is Lindsay Milner and I'm a training and development consultant working mainly with non-profit organisations to help them to create awesome workplaces. And in the course of that work, I have spent a lot of time reading books to keep up to date with the best knowledge that's out there, books on management, personal development, business development, and books on thinking. And I thought it might be helpful, interesting to share some of the insights that I've gained from those books with you. Today's book is called Think Small, and it's subtitled The Surprisingly Simple Ways to Reach Big Goals. The authors are Owain and Rory Gallagher, who work in the UK government's Nudge Unit, which is more properly known as the Behavioural Insights Team. This was set up in 2010 by David Cameron's government to take the work from the book Nudge by Thaler and Sunstein and how small sort of choice architecture, they call it, small changes to the way information is presented can lead people to behave in a certain way. And the premise of this book is that if you take the principles of the nudge and apply it to your own behaviour, you can actually make small changes to your own behaviour to help you to reach your own goals. There's one thing that I really didn't like about this book, and that is right from the outset at the introduction, he talks about changes that have been implemented in job centres in the UK and how they are helping people to find work. And I just find it really difficult to reconcile the cosy picture that they paint with the sanctions regime and the hardship that universal credit is causing for people on the benefit system in the UK. But if I could put that aside, it always made me not want to read the book, but I did persevere and carry on. And to be fair, that's only mentioned a couple of times throughout the book. The premise of the book is that you need to make these small changes to kind of nudge yourself into the changes to reach your big goals. And the book is set out very, very logically, a really simple logical structure. It's 7 chapters and each chapter has got 3 rules, and within the 3 rules the chapter is explained with anecdotes, examples, scientific evidence. It references a couple of books that we've come across before, including Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. And it is a very practical step-by-step guide to how you can implement those changes. The chapters are called things like set your goals, plan how you're going to work towards them, commit, how to make a commitment to them, reward, share your goals. They talk about how powerful it is to share your goals and to work with people. And what's the next one? The next one I think is feedback, how important feedback is to achieving our goals. And the last one is stick. So a couple of things that I got out of this book, a couple of specific things are bright lines. Now, there is a program in the US called Bright Line Eating, which I'd heard of, but not really sort of investigated. But this just talks about bright lines in terms of setting rules for yourself. The example he gives in this book is someone who wanted to drink less. But obviously that's a very vague goal. So what he did was he created a rule that said he did not drink at home during the week. So that is a very clear guideline. It doesn't mean he never drinks again, because he can drink at the weekend. He can drink during the week if he's out, but he doesn't drink at home during the week. So that's a very simple rule to implement, and it's easy to know whether you've stuck to it or not. Another thing that I got out of it, I actually, I'd heard of the website Stick before, where you make a commitment, make a public commitment about what you're going to do and get people to support you. And if you don't stick to your commitment, you have to report weekly. And if you don't stick to it, you have to pay a fine, or some other, you can create your own penalty. But that again, I actually have implemented that myself, and I have now managed to exercise 3 times a week for 8 weeks without fail. So that's, that's progress. That's good work for me. The book in some ways is a bit of a crossover with The Power of Habit, which we talked about a few weeks ago. And I would say there would be benefits to reading both of these. But if you want a practical step-by-step, I think in some ways this is better. But if you want something that explains the theory and gets you engaged in the process, I preferred The Power of Habit out of the two. So that is this week's book in 5 minutes, a little over, apologies for that, but there's quite a lot of information about this book that I really wanted to share. Let me know what you think. Have you read it? Will you read it? What do you think of the concept? I look forward to seeing you next week. If you want to keep up to date with the book in 5 minutes, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm Lindsay Milner. Bye for now.